Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to lesson 13 of Straight Path Academy Arabic Volume 1, Reading Arabic Letters. In this lesson, we learn two new letters. Firstly, this is the letter Meme. And the letter Meme sounds similar to the English M. For example, the name Maryam begins with the letter Meme. This is how the letter Meme looks alone, and this is how it looks in the beginning, middle, and end of a connection. We can think of the letter Meme as having a miniature circle shape with a line coming down when it's alone or at the end of a connection. As for when it's in the beginning or middle, it's just the miniature circle that connects to the next letter. And next we have the letter Noon. And the letter Noon sounds like the English letter N. For example, the name Nuh begins with the letter Noon. This is how the letter Noon looks alone, and this is how it looks in the beginning, middle, and end of a connection. As we can see, it has a bit of a U shape with one dot above. So now that we learned the letter Meme and Noon, it's time for the exercise. Let's try number 6 together. We begin by identifying the letter. This miniature circle shape is the letter Meme. So we write M for the Meme. Above the Meme, we see a Dhamma, so we write a U for the Dhamma. So together, the Meme and Dhamma would be pronounced Mu, Mu. The second letter in the middle of a connection is another miniature circle, meaning this is the letter Meme, so we're going to write an M for the Meme. Above the Meme, we see a Fetha, so we write A for the Fetha. So together, the Meme and Fetha would be pronounced Ma, Ma. And finally, at the end of a connection, we see this U shape with one dot above, meaning this is the letter Noon. So we're going to write an N for the Noon. Above the Noon, we see Tanween Dhamma. So we write a U for the first Dhamma and N for Tanween. So the Noon and Tanween Dhamma would be pronounced Nun, Nun. So if we read this all together, it would be pronounced Mu, Ma, Nun. Mu, Ma, Nun. So let's try one more example with more letters. Let's try number 31. First, we identify the letter. This shape beginning a connection with one dot above indicates the letter Noon. So we write N for the letter Noon. Above the Noon, we find a Fetha, so we write A for the Fetha. So the Noon and Fetha would be pronounced Na, Na. Next, in the middle of a connection, we find this shape in 3 dots above, meaning this is the letter Tha. So we write TH for the letter Tha. Above the letter Tha, we find a Dhamma, so we write a U for the Dhamma. So together, the Tha and Dhamma are pronounced Thu, Thu. Next, in between a connection, we find this miniature circle, meaning this is the letter Meme. So we write M for the Meme. Above the Meme, we find a Fetha, so we write A for the Fetha. So the Meme and Fetha will be pronounced Ma, Ma. Next, in the middle of a connection, we find a snail-like shape with one dot above, meaning this is the letter Dad. So we write a D for the letter Dad with a dot beneath, indicating that it's heavy. And beneath the Dad, we find a Kesra, so we write an I for the Kesra. So the Dad and Kesra would be pronounced Di, Di. And finally, at the end of a connection, we find this wave-like shape with a dot beneath, meaning this is the letter Jim. So we write a J for the Jim. And above the Jim, we find a Dhamma, so we write a U for the Dhamma. And together, the Jim and Dhamma sound like Ju, Ju. So finally, if we pronounce all of these letters and harakat together, we would say Na, Thu, Ma, Li, Ju. Na, Thu, Ma, Li, Ju. That does it for this lesson, meaning if you've gone through all of these lessons with us, you now know 20 Arabic letters. Make sure you complete the exercises and keep up the great work, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.